Good morning. Welcome to the Long Live Third Parties podcast. Free Press Media Press, Inc., a third party books publisher, sponsors this podcast. I'm Andrew Bouchard. Today I read the case Zurek v. Peterson, 33NE 3D 853 Illinois Appellate Court, 1st District, 5th Division, 2015. Friends, today we're going to the hotbed of third parties, Illinois. Yes, friends. From my research, when I looked at the Secretary of State of Illinois, I found all these political parties I never heard of in Illinois. They appeared to be largely local in nature. I did not see this in other states. In reading these trials in Illinois, I'm also coming across third parties I haven't heard of. And this case serves as a prime example. This case involved an individual named Ken Zurek wanting to get on the ballot in Illinois. This case has a lot of arguments it presents. So let's read the part about the third party. A lot of it doesn't discuss the party in and of itself. It talks about arguments about getting on the ballot. Independent candidates may have some of the same issues. It says, quote, "The candidates also argued to the board that the objector's petition was defective and should be dismissed because it did not name as a party the new political party, Progress Through Lower Taxes Party. The nomination petitions at issue here included the following title and introduction." End quote. And then it talks about what was on the petitions, including that Progress Through Lower Taxes Party. How does the Progress Through Lower Taxes Party sound to you? Do you like lower taxes? Usually it's people of conservative natures who favor lower taxes, but there might be some way that progressive people could favor lower taxes. I consider myself progressive, yet I would be open to lower taxes, depending on how it was applied. I do remember progressives saying, we spend a lot of money on the military, so we could cut some of that. And if that's the case, then we could lower taxes in a way that pleases progressives. So I would assume this party is conservative in nature. Maybe moderate. Sometimes parties like the Reform Party talk about lower taxes. So it's possible that this party is centrist. This case also discusses how if a new political party is new, can it file lawsuits? And they cite a couple of cases we discussed on this podcast, such as Green Party versus Hendricks and Lions, MVP Party versus Lions, Illinois Municipal Officers Electoral Board. Unfortunately, they did not find the arguments for Mr. Zurek convincing. One by one, they go through them all and they strike them down. The court does not find any legitimacy to his argument. Zurek presents an interesting argument about statutes. He has claimed that the one statute is not a mandatory statute. I would have never ever thought of making such an argument. It seems very philosophical in nature. The court rebuts that by saying, quote, "Statutes are deemed mandatory if the intent of the legislator directs a certain consequence for noncompliance with the statute." End quote. So do you think statutes are indeed mandatory? Or you think they are not, or maybe you think it depends on the circumstance. So unfortunately for our friend, he didn't get much ground in this trial, nor did his party, Progress Through Lower Taxes Party. So ultimately the court said, quote, We have rejected all of Zurek's arguments for reversal, and we do not find the April ballot to have been in error without inclusion of Zurek's name. No special election is warranted. Given that none of Zurek's arguments have been convincing, we affirm the decisions of the board and the circuit court. Affirmed. End quote. Zurek didn't win, but he can still inspire us. May his efforts inspire us to have efforts of our own, and better yet, efforts to win. So I hope the Progress to Lower Taxes Party can gain momentum, and may other third parties gain momentum. Long live third parties. Goodbye.